Hello, beautiful people. Danielle here. I'm your intuitive alchemist and masculine mindset coach. I'm your coach. I'm jumping on to talk about how quickly it is that you can. I just got back from the beach with the kids, and we had a beautiful time down at the beach, and we got some pizza and chips and went for a walk, and they explored and got shells, and we took the dog, and I've had an absolutely beautifully magical day, which is why I want to talk about how easy it is to get triggered into an old thought form or an old story, and how quickly you can spiral. And so I've had a magical day. I got up early, I did some work, I had a full day of beautiful healing clients, and I love doing my hands-on healing clients because I just see people walk in with a specific energy and walk out feeling so much lighter, more relief, more clarity, less anxiety, less depression, like they've unblocked parts of their being that they haven't been for a long time, and that in itself is just such a beautiful gift. So I mean, I love the work that I do. It brings me so much joy to be able to help people with their own healing and to gift them the creator energy, and then for them to be able to actually choose to receive. So it was a really lovely magical day. However, I have felt my energy levels drop. And my energy, I was a bit tired, and after I hadn't eaten all day, and then I ate, and I probably didn't make the best food choice. And so then the fatigue sets in when you don't always make the best food choice, and you haven't, like you sit down and you stop, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm really actually quite tired. So for me, one of the most important things for me to stay aligned with my own energy and focused with who I am and connected to who I am has been learning what my alignment tools are. I'm learning what I need to do every single day to stay centered and connected to my true authentic energy and self, and to be at the best that I can be. And so that's right amount of sleep, exercise, sunlight, and journaling probably would be my fourth one. So I need to usually make sure 2 of those are up to date. So if I haven't had enough sleep, I need to exercise. If I haven't, if I haven't exercised, then I need to make sure that I've gone outside in the sun. So there's a certain amount of things that reduce triggers and keep me aligned so that I can stay conscious, aware, observe, and in the best possible space I can, that when things pop up, I can address them with the right mindset. Now, for me, I know my programs. I know my automatic pilot system. My automatic pilot system has been, whenever I get tired and feel a little bit overwhelmed, I get needy. So my codependency stuff comes in. And I know that that's my pattern. So I know very well that when I'm tired and I get needy and this old codependency stuff comes in, I no longer have this level of reaching out for validation, and I no longer seek for attention in many of the ways. I go, okay, I notice this. This is an old thought form. I love living my life alone. I love the life I'm living. I'm never alone. I've got my kids. I've got great friends. I've just spent time with my dad. I have my beautiful dog that loves me unconditionally. So I am literally, now that I have a dog, I'm never alone. And I like my life on my own. I enjoy it. I get to do what I want when I want. I get to live life how I want. Do I want to have a partner? Of course, yes. At some stage, I would like to find an equal energy match where I can meet somebody who is just as committed to themselves and to their purpose and to creating change on the planet as what I am as well. And until that happens, where I meet somebody who is that, then I'm happy to do this by myself. However, I know that I haven't been like that most of my life. Most of my life, I've needed someone to give me love. I've needed someone to feel my validation. I've needed someone because I haven't been able to do those things for myself. And it's taken a lot of work and a lot of hours and a lot of self-love and a lot of journaling and a lot of inquiry and a lot of meditation and continually. And I'm not talking like get up and do something for an hour every morning. I do this day in, day out. Like this is how I live. I'm in this level of consciousness and self-reflection all of the time and trying to be in presence and coming back into my heart and vulnerability. So this is a lifestyle for me. This is not a temporary thing. So although I haven't been like this my entire life and I have had a lot of human limiting beliefs, that's when I get like this, and you can see it in my eyes. Look, you can tell I'm tired. You can tell I'm a little bit exhausted. You can tell I'm not as high energy. And this is when it's easy to trigger the ego to jump in. It's easy to poke at it, and then all of a sudden your stories come back and your old story and narrative starts playing. So for me, all that took literally today was we hopped in the car to drive back, and we're going to Latin dancing tonight. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to go Latin. I love Latin dancing, but I'm also really tired. But that was like, nah, do it. It'll be great for the kids. Once you get out there and you're moving, you'll feel high energy. Have a coffee if you have to. Whatever. It will be worth it. So I am excited because I love Latin dancing. It's amazing. And it took one thing. It was a love song. A love song played on the radio. And it was a love song that is one of those tearjerker ones that makes you go, oh, I just want to share my life with someone. So that's what these sort of things do. That's how TV and music and different things can be projected at us at a sensitive time, and then all of a sudden you're back in that old feeling, that old thought form, and it's like, oh, I just wish I had someone to go to Latin dancing with. And I'm like, you know, the emotion comes up in your body, and it's like, oh, I'm lonely, and I can hear my ego, and I'm like sort of watching it, but not aware enough to be able to stop it at that point, because I'm like, well, I kind of do want those things, but I know what you're doing to me, and I'm observing these thought forms and they're coming, but I let it play out for a bit, and by that point I'm tired, so I like got a little bit teary because I feel like I'm never gonna have, you know, it plays into that story. Oh, I'm never actually going to find anyone that I'm going to live my life with. I'm never, you know, oh, you've had so many relationships and they've all been not sustainable or short-term lived. And this is where the ego will feed in on anything to just basically cause that separation from self. And everyone has this still, no matter where they are on their journey, and it's catching it and choosing to go, hang on, that's actually not true. Like, I really don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that. I believe the more that I work on myself internally, the more happy I'll be on my own, and I'm going to live in love on my own, which I do now, and that love will be magnified when I meet somebody who's also living in love, and then we can expand together. And if that doesn't happen, that's cool too, because I'm actually content in my life. But when you have an old program, and this can be any trigger, this is just my common trigger, so it was like, oh, well, just jump on and explain from this space, explain from the authenticness of where I'm at right now, and show that it doesn't take much to get triggered. It doesn't take much to start spiraling. You have to catch yourself in the spiral before it gets too late, because all of a sudden you can be in a shitstorm of shame or guilt or sadness or loneliness, and you can't see past it. And that's where our mind locks us up. That's why people can't move forward. That's why people choose to go into a victim mindset, because they don't know how to recognize the story and go, oh, hang on, I know what you're doing to me because you're created to do this. Your mind, your brain is created to do this. It has a subconscious thought, and when it has it, it will look and seek and search everywhere externally in your life to validate that thought. So while you're retraining your brain and while you're looking for new beliefs, and some of these things are so conditioned in us, so conditioned into us that they can be running well, Disney. We'll just blame Disney, right? So in that situation. But if you've got a childhood thought pattern of I'm not good enough, and that you've literally had since you were like 2 years old, that has played out thousands upon thousands of times a day, it's going to take some time to reprogram. It takes repetition. It takes a conscious effort to go, I don't choose to think this way about myself anymore. I am worthy. I can see that I am a valuable person. I can see that I have positive aspects. I can see that I'm working on myself. And it doesn't matter exactly what you say, but you can't keep saying the same story. If you want a different result, you have to change that story and you have to recognize it. Otherwise, you're just going to keep repeating it. And once you've got that program in there, and I could keep that program. I could keep the program of, oh, well, none of my relationships work out and they never seem to last very long, or I always attract narcissistic men, or I'm always getting manipulated. If I kept that story, that's what I'm going to keep getting. It's exactly what I'm going to keep getting. And I don't choose that. I'm not choosing that in my reality. I'm choosing me. I choose to live in love with myself. I choose to see my worth and value. I choose to do the things that make me feel good. I choose to make a decision to show up for myself. And so when you have those triggers pop up, don't go, oh, well, I've just gone all the way backwards. Don't go into that space of, I've just gone so many steps backwards and I haven't actually progressed, and is this ever going to go away? It's a lifelong pattern you've got to decondition. It takes time and kindness and compassion and empathy for you. And the more kindness and compassion you have for yourself, and then when you go into those old thought forms or those triggers and you react or respond in the same way, and you don't do the more conscious thing that you would like to do, it's like, that's okay. I know this is a lifelong pattern and it's going to take a little practice, and that's okay. All right, please like, share, love, comment. Actually, really funny little TikTok that I did on a friend's suggestion around people saying things like, your level of awareness could help. I've had lots of people say this, that I could help and influence millions, right? And I kind of like, yeah, I can, but I shrug it off all the time. Anyway, I laughed because somebody sent me this one saying, when your friends ask why you're not famous yet, and it's like, well, because you don't share my shit. Share my shit. Share my shit and I might get famous. I thought it was funny. Anyway, have a beautiful evening. I'd love to hear all of the comments below. It's beautiful to be back on my business page. I do post on my personal page, but I sometimes forget to cross-line it. I am on YouTube now. I will be doing men's transmissions and meditations, as well as the Man's Mind podcast has been uploaded there. If you've missed it on Facebook, head over to YouTube, and there will be lots more content that is less spur of the moment, half asleep, triggered, and of more value on YouTube over time. So make sure you like and subscribe. All right, have a beautiful evening. I love you. Bye.